Hello friends, welcome. Today I will introduce plant taxonomy. We know that taxonomy is the most important branch of biological sciences because it is essential for all branches of biology. Generally, taxonomy is known as the queen and servant of biology because queen in the sense all branches of biology serve taxonomy. That is, all branches of biology provide data for the establishment of taxonomy, for classification. And servant in the sense that taxonomy provide data to all branches of biology. So, taxonomy is known as the queen and servant of biology. That implies the importance of taxonomy in biological science. United Nations Environment Programme's Global Biodiversity Assessment estimates the number of described species on the earth about 1.75 million. And this table shows the estimated numbers of species in various plant groups and fungi. The group Algae, a number of 40,000 species are described yet, and the estimated number is about 3.5 lakhs. And coming to bryophytes, mosses and liverworts, the estimated number is 23,000 and 14,000 of these are described, and there is no estimation available for pteridophytes, ferns and allies. About 13,000 are described yet, and almost all species of gymnosperms are described, about 600 species. And regarding the flowering plants, there are 3,20,000 species. Of this, 2.86 lakhs are described, and the estimated number of fungi is 1.6 million, and only 70,000 species are described. So, there is a large number of species of plants and animals to be described yet and classified. And these publications by various organizations gives an estimate of the flowering plant diversity of Kerala. The first one is published by Kerala Forest Research Institute, Biodiversity Documentation of Kerala, Part 6, Flowering Plants, and Flowering Plants of Kerala by TBGRI. And Botanical Survey of India is now on the way of preparation of complete flora of Kerala, and 2 volumes of this multi-volume series is published. And this is the CD-ROM format of this first publication by KFRI, Flowering Plants of Kerala. This is actually a compilation of different regional floras, district floras of Kerala. And according to the latest version of this CD-ROM, there are 5,094 flowering plants in Kerala. So, coming to the functions of taxonomy, these are the major functions or the areas of study of plant taxonomy. Then identification is the most important one, and that is how this plant can be recognized, how a plant can be recognized, that is identification. And what should they be called in order that information about them can be freely exchanged without ambiguity, without any confusion. That is the nomenclature, giving names to species, either already described or new taxa. Then what are their closest relatives? Are there any other plants likely to have similar properties or compatible genetic systems? and that forms the classification. So classification is the grouping of plants based on their similarity and differences. So more similar plants are included in a closed group, and different plants having different characters, features are included in different groups. And where do they occur or where do they grow? That is the distribution, in which continents, in which geographic province they occur, that is its distribution. And in what kind of habitat they grow, in which kind of habitat, what is the habitat, and that is ecology. And have they any useful properties, that is economic importance, that is useful. So all these things are covered in taxonomy, plant taxonomy. Then coming to the term plant taxonomy, even though man classify plants or animals from the prehistoric times, the term was coined recently. It was coined, the word taxonomy originated from two Latin words, taxis meaning arrangement and nomos meaning rules. So taxonomy, combination of two words, taxis and nomos, and that is arrangement according to some rules. So taxonomy is the arrangement of plants or organisms according to some rules. And the term was coined by A.P. de Candolle in 1813 in his publication, that is a Theorie élémentaire de la botanique. And according to Davis and Haywood, taxonomy is a science. It is a science dealing with the study of classification, including its basis of classification, principles of classification, rules and procedures. So that is the meaning of taxonomy according to Davis and Haywood. So taxonomy basically is arrangement by rules. It is a branch of botanical science which deals with the classification, including identification, origin, interrelationship and nomenclature of plants. Dealing with the science, dealing with the classification, including its identification, origin, from where this originated, what are the ancestors of this group or plant, its interrelationship, relationship with the other plants or other plant groups, then naming, it's giving names. And taxonomy is based mainly on morphology, including anatomy and other allied branches of botany, such as embryology, cytology, plant geography, etc. So the data, the characters for the classification or identification or naming of plants come from different branches, mainly from morphology, then anatomy, that is internal morphology, and embryology, cytology, plant geography. And recently, molecular data is widely used, especially in phylogenetic systematics, in the APG system of classification, and that is solely based on molecular data, that is DNA sequencing. So all branches of biology, data from all branches of biology are used in taxonomy. So taxonomy is based on all other branches of biology. And these are the main activities of taxonomy, plant taxonomy: identification, then naming, giving names, and classification, identification, that is the recognition of a species, identification of a described species, already described species, determined species, or identification as a new species. Then giving names according to some rules, then arrangement of the identified and named plant or organism into different groups. So these are the major activities of plant taxonomy. And aims and objectives: to identify all kinds of plants on the earth. As seen, the estimated number of plants on the earth belonging to different categories in the early part of this class. So one of the most important aim of taxonomy is the identification of all kinds of plants on the earth with their names, that is giving names, distinctions, that is giving different ranks, including them into different categories according to their similarities and differences, that is distinctions, distributions, where they occur, their habits, nature of in which group it belongs, whether it is herbs, climber, tree, shrubs, etc. Then its characteristics, what are the features or distinguishing features of these plants. Then its affinities, that is relationship with the other groups. And it gives an accumulated information and scientific knowledge of the world's plant resources, the total plant resources of the world. So taxonomy, by attaining this objective, gives an accumulated information, a database on the knowledge of the world's plant resources. Then another aim is to arrange or classify the kinds of plants into a scheme of classification. There are different schemes of classification, different systems of classification, or an orderly arrangement. And closely related plants are placed in a single group or small group. For example, a species. The plants belonging to a species are closely related, and plants belonging to a genus, they shows a little lesser degree of relationship than plants belonging to a species. Then to study the factors of evolution to find out the origin of species and their interrelationship. So the study of evolution, the factors of evolution to find out the origin of species, how species originate. We can know, or we can assume as the path of origin of species, of a particular species, by studying the related species. So we can understand the evolutionary pathway of species. Then the correct naming, that is nomenclature of plants, according to International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, ICBN, and that is now ICN. ICBN means International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Now the correct term is ICN. Correct naming of plants according to rules of International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. So this is the latest code. So the naming of nomenclature of plants is based on this code, that is the code which was published in 2018. The latest code was adopted by the 19th International Botanical Conference, met at Shenzhen, China in July 2017. The meeting was held at China, Shenzhen in 2017, and the code that was Shenzhen code that was published in, or that became effective on 1st January 2018. So earlier it was ICBN, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature. Now that title of the code is changed to International Code of Nomenclature for Algae, Fungi and Plants. The title change is due to the fact that the naming of fungi is included here, and naming of some algae. Some algae are not true plants. So this code include nomenclature of fungi and some algae which are not belong to, which are not true plants. So the code or the title is now changed to ICN, International Code of Nomenclature for Algae, Fungi and Plants. So this is the latest code, and this code will change in 2018 2024. That is, the next IBC will be in 2023. That will be held at Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and the next code will be effective from 1st January 2024. This is previous code, that is Melbourne code, and the IBC was held at Melbourne in Australia in 2011, and this code is very important in the history of botanical nomenclature because a number of changes were made in this code. That is, even the title was changed. That is, ICBN changed to ICN, International Code of Nomenclature for algae, fungi, and plants. And many rules were changed in this code, and the changes of rules will be discussed later. And next aim is the preservation of flora in a herbarium. That is, the preservation of flora. Flora, the word flora is used in two senses. One is the collection of plants in a particular area. For example, flora of Kerala, flora of Kannur, flora of Western Ghats, flora of India, etc. That means the entire collection of plants in a region. And another sense or meaning of flora is when the details of the plants of a region is compiled into a book form. That book is known as flora. So this flora means the collection of plants in a region. So that is its preservation in a herbarium, and the word herbarium also used in two senses, two meanings, and that is herbarium. One meaning is the place where, or the building where the dried specimens of plants of a region is kept. That is herbarium. Another meaning is that dried plant itself. So one aim of plant taxonomy is the preservation of flora, different plants of a region in a herbarium. Then to provide a convenient method of identification and communication, method of identification of plants and communication details of the plants to others. Then to provide an inventory of plant taxa by means of flora, publication of floras, that is description of plants, compilation of the details of a plants of a region into a book form, that is flora. So this is herbarium. Herbarium is a place where the plants of a region, they are preserved in the form of herbaria, herbarium sheets, that is herbarium. This is a single sheet of herbarium. So that is used in two senses, two meanings. This a single sheet of herbarium means a dried, mounted, labeled plant specimen, that is herbarium, and the place where these herbaria or sheets are kept is also known as herbarium. Then coming to the three basic functions of taxonomy, the first one is identification. Identification is the determination of a taxon based on the overall similarities and differences with other taxa. Determination, identification, recognition of a taxon of a plant based on overall similarities, their similarities belonging to the same group, and differences with the plants of other groups or taxa of other groups. That is identification. And the identification, this can be done by different methods. The easiest method is to consult an expert, and direct method is by comparing a representative specimen of a given taxon with that of another which has been authoritatively predetermined. For example, by comparison of a plant specimen with a herbarium plant, which is already determined, that is predetermined, by comparison with the already identified specimens. The indirect method, that is by using different methods, that is use of keys which are available in flora, revisions, monographs, etc. Then descriptions, illustrations, etc. All these tools are available in different taxonomic literatures, taxonomic keys, descriptions, illustrations, etc. And they are available in most of the floras, revisions and monographs. And this is the flora of British India. And in floras and revisions there are many tools such as key for identification, illustrations, descriptions, etc. And this is flora of the Presidency of Madras. And this is a key, taxonomic key for the identification of different genera of the family Annonaceae in a region. And this key is from the flora of Madaipaara. And there are 4 genera under the family Annonaceae. So we can, using this key, we can identify which family, which genus it is. So once the family is identified, we can identify the genus by using this key. And this is illustration. And this is illustration of a new record to Kerala, that is Zackney World Camby. So we can identify the compare. We can compare and identify the undetermined specimen by comparison with this illustration. So we can see the very minute characters of this plant. And this is description. The description of Annona reticulata available in a flora. And these are the citations of the taxon. And coming to the next function, that is nomenclature, that is assigning names to identified specimens. Once a taxon is determined or identified on the basis of a set of certain dependable characters, that is distinguishing characters or characteristic features, a scientific name is given in accordance with the rules of botanical nomenclature. So we must follow the rules of ICN, International Code of Botanical Nomenclature, while naming a plant. So there is 2 kinds of nomenclature. One is giving names to already determined or already described species. So a name will be there for that particular taxon. So already a name will be there. But if we determine a plant as a new taxon, for example a new species, then we should give a new name. A new name is given to a new taxon. So that is a new name, not already existing name. So this is a new name given to a taxon, a species described from Madaipaara, that is Coelagny madaiensis. The Coelagny is the genus name that is already existing. So a new species belonging to Coelagny was identified, and others decided to give a new species name, that is madaiensis, and the name is based on its type locality, that is the plant where that was collected, that is Madaipaara. So the new name combination is, new species name is Coelagny madaiensis, and that is published in a journal, that is Gardens Bulletin, Singapore in 2012. So that is the second function. And the third function is classification, that is assigning the plant, the identified, the name plant into different groups. And the purpose is it is very difficult to study all plants individually, because even the flowering plants, the total number of flowering plants itself is around 3 lakhs. So it is impossible to study all plants individually. So taxonomists group them into different classes. So it is necessary to place them into small or large groups on the basis of their similarities and differences. So this 4 plants, actually this 4 belongs to 4 different species, 4 different genera and a single family. And this is a Canthium, Canthium coromandelicum, species Canthium coromandelicum belonging to genus Canthium, and this is Morinda, Morinda citrifolia species belonging to the genus Morinda, and this is Ixora coccinea species belonging to the genus Ixora, and this is Pavata indica species belonging to Pavata. So there are 4 species, 4 genera, but these genera, all these species are classified into a larger family, that is Rubiaceae. There are many species under the genus Canthium, but all these species belong to the same family. Similarly, there are many species under genus Ixora, all these belong to the family. So the classification is done based on the similarities, because all species of Ixora belong to Ixora, the genus Ixora, because they are more related to each other than to the species of Pavata. So the classification is based on similarities and differences in between. And this Ixora, both species, that is, the first one is Ixora coccinea, and the second one is an endemic and endangered species, that is Ixora malabarica. So they differ, they show some differences, but they show some similarities. Based on these differences, they belong to different species, but based on their similarity, they belong to the same genus Ixora. Then species, the plants or the individuals of a species are more related. They show more similarity. So different plants are grouped into different categories based on their similarities and differences, and that is classification. So these groups are arranged according to their levels into categories in a sequential manner, and each category has a name with which is in accordance with the rules of nomenclature, that is ICN. So there are many categories used, and basically there are 7 categories starting from species. So species is the building blocks of classification or taxonomy. The species, genus, family, order, class, division and kingdom. So these are the basic main categories of classification, and there are some infra-specific categories there, and some intermediate categories are there between genus and species, between genus and family, etc. But these are these 7 categories are the major categories used in classification. So these are the major functions and aims and objectives of classification or taxonomy, and we will discuss more details of taxonomy in the next classes. Thank you.